So I mean, I've been looking at Doge for a while as well. But actually I saw a post from Lucky Ape today and I thought, okay, well, if Lucky Ape's interested in Doge, why wouldn't I be interested in Doge? I like this guy. I really like this guy. I think he's a smart guy. Here, look. This Doge setup was using simple high time frame structural retests for support with local price action confluence, structuring the trade around the idea of this retest holding. If it does, we shouldn't be surprised to see a big move up. If we don't, then I'll be cutting the current long and looking for a new setup. He's in a swing long, okay, and actually he's this guy, he's targeting all-time highs, okay. Where did he post that? Let me have a look. For your information, I'm still swing long on Doge. It's his big altcoin bullish bet. He's made a case for all-time highs on Doge many times, and I think that scenario may be playing out. So I have a lot of respect for this guy. I think he's an extremely good trader. I've never seen his face, but I've watched his videos. I'm in his free Discord, and I see a lot of his posts, and he's basically a really amazing technical trader. And so definitely interested in what he has to say. And so therefore I'm going to do some kind of analysis on Doge now, just because I have some as well. I have some as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look together, and let's have a look at Doge. Let me just hide all my previous analysis, just simply because I just want to look at it afresh. Is this the correct chart? Probably not. Probably not. There's probably better ones. But in terms of volume is really important. So let me just have a look at Doge Coin Gecko. It's got a $19 billion market cap. It's quite high, huh? It's a high market cap, so it's quite a safe token. And look, the 24-hour trading volume is $2.2 billion. It's got off the charts volume. It's a very safe token, I think, Doge, in that sense. There's a lot. It's got a shed ton of liquidity, Dogecoin. Amazing for a crappy coin such as Doge. And the volume is on Binance Spot. It's quite high, but really it's Binance Future. Look, Binance Futures. Look at that, 24-hour volume, almost $1.5 billion. Crazy. It's crazy volume on Binance Futures. So you can tell that some of the biggest whales in the world are trading this. You can tell, because that's crazy volume. Like I can't even believe how much volume that is. I don't advocate for leverage trading. For most people, I think it's better to just do spot. This is it. This is Doge Binance, but maybe that's not the right one. So let me just kind of have a look at this and just make sure I've got the right chart. Doge. Maybe I'm gonna get this the index. You see that you got the perpetual contracts and USDTP, and then you've got the futures. That's the futures contract here on Binance. That's where most of the volume is. But I do think probably the Binance index, the US Doge USD, is the correct one. Which one I have up there? Tether US. I'm not sure if that's I've got the wrong one. See that I've got the spot chart, but the one that I actually want is this one, the US dollar chart. Let me just add that. So that should be all the data. See that? Just bring it down to there. And let me just make sure that, yeah, you see it's correct. Now it may not be relevant because we may not want all that data from going all the way back, but why not? And then you can see from when it was at that point. I mean, it's crazy. Look, it's 70,000% increase in value. It's off the charts increase in value. Like, it's unimaginable that in the last bull market you could mine it, unlimited supply, you could mine it, and your value went up 70,000% increase in value. So it's just mind-blowing increase in value. Mind-blowing. All you have to do is be patient and hold. Hodl. So what you can see here on the higher time frame is some kind of wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So potentially we're in a wave. This is the last wave, isn't it? The wave 5. So this is where people will be taking profit if they're still holding, because this is the wave 5. And I think naturally, I think a target will be the all-time high. Yeah, because you can't be too greedy. It's the all-time high. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Just have a look at the volume as well on this index. Yeah, it's hard to, like, look. Obviously, the prices are going to come back to down to the point of control, is it? It's not. But look, when you look at this index chart, you see that the value area is holding a support, isn't it? It lost it, got back above, lost it, got back above, and there's your rejection. There's your rejection. There's your bounce, and that's your test. So we've had a test exactly on the value area high of this higher time frame value area. It's quite an important level, that is. There at 8 cents, really important level that we've had a nice test, and it does look like we've had an impulsive wave already, isn't it? Let's have a look. One, two, three, four, five. That's your first impulse, isn't it? Look. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. What's your kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's your first wave. And potentially now we've corrected for the next wave. For the next wave, which is in this context is the biggest wave. Don't really know where it begins. Maybe the one, two, three. So the conditions for this wave, I'll have to, the Elliott Wave rules have to follow. They always have to be the same. You're looking for, if this is the beginning of the next wave, which is the wave 3, the back test of the 3 mustn't, the 4 can't come underneath the 5 there. So that's really important. Right, so that's kind of what you want to see in the next wave. And then what you can do is just have the volume just in this top part, and look, you can see that before, what happened before was that the price went up to the value area high and got rejected from the value area. You see that? That's the value area high of this local range, isn't it? And this local range is quite a higher time frame range. It's from January 2021 through to the current price. And so with this next wave, you want to see that break, and then the other thing you want to see is you want to see as much liquidity to be taken as possible, if possible. We haven't even hit, so the golden pocket was front one here. See that? I think what I'd like to see is a flip of the golden pocket for higher prices, and that would be aiming to get up to the all-time high. That's really what you're targeting, isn't it? based on what Lucky Ape chart is saying, he's aiming for the all-time high. We're going to hit resistance as we take out that pivot, but I mean, and also the golden pocket. And the other resistance that we're going to be hitting is trap liquidity in this upper range. So let me just kind of mark it out for you. And that is the golden pocket is going to be big resistance, to be honest with you. So we have to see how the price behaves at and around the golden pocket. But I think, look, the previous range value area high here also lines up with the 786, which is at 42 cents. And counting the waves, I think if you could get 5 impulsive waves up to 42 cents, that would be a really good place to take profit. But obviously, if the price rejects from the golden pocket on the deck, properly rejects again, then actually this becomes, you know, this changes. This whole Elliott wave count changes. If you suddenly get something like that, like a rejection and right back down like this, then what actually happens is that this is your wave 1 now. We're about to begin the wave 1. And then you still have to go through the motions of wave 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so at the moment, it's an assumption that that's the wave 1. And the only way we'll know is that if the rules are followed as the price continues. And effectively, there's not much of a distance here. You kind of, like in this scenario, if we do get up to the golden pocket and find resistance, you'd want a really flat correction to hold this top of 1 as a pivot, as a support, as a flip. You effectively, what you want to do to go for higher is you want to flip this this value area into support. I think it's quite important to go for higher prices. So either you go up to the golden pocket and have a nice flat correction there, consolidation underneath resistance for higher prices, or you overshoot it and then you have a shallow ABC zigzag to somehow backtest these areas as support for continuation. And then I think in this context your target will be the all-time high, and I think that's correct. Because it's moved so much, I don't really foresee us going to higher like crazy higher. I think it makes sense for us to go to the all-time high. And obviously $1 is a psychological level. If you wake up tomorrow and you see Doge at $1, just sell everything. Don't even hesitate. Don't even think about it. We'll sell 90%, we'll sell 99% of everything. Yeah, and have 1% for posterity's sake. Don't even hesitate. Yeah, $1 is a psychological level. If we were to break the all-time high and go through to $1 and suddenly you see it's at 101, 1.01, then sell. Sell. Don't hesitate. Don't get greedy. Don't let that greed capture your mentality. Just sell. All right? It's because it will reject. Yeah, $1 will reject. If we do get up to $1, it will reject for sure. And I actually think it might reject on the all-time high, and that'll be easy to see because you'll see a swing failure on the all-time high. And I don't see why we wouldn't see a swing failure of the all-time high, because you've got a large amount of accumulation in this range, and they need to take profits. Huh? They're not just going to sit on Doge for the rest of their eternity. They want to take profits. So if you're accumulating at about 10 cents and you go up 600%, that's a nice payday. If someone has accumulated Doge and they've put $1 billion worth of value into Doge at 10 cents or 11 cents, $1 billion, be sure that they're going to take their profit as the price goes up. You know, they may take it up at 40 cents or 30 cents. Like, that's a lot of that. Is hard to double up your money when you've got such a large amount of money, you know, because you need a token like this which is heavily liquid to be able to do that. And so when it does move, you're going to see big players take profit. You're not going to see them sit on their thumbs hoping for higher, hoping for their billion to become 10 billion. They don't think like that. For if they're looking to increase their value 2x and they've got so much value, they will be happy. Even 50%, they'd be happy, because these bigger players, they're looking to outperform the index of the S&P 500. That's all they really care about. They don't really care about trying to increase their value by 100x in one clean sweep. Hello, good afternoon. Altcoin Dreaming's joined me. So this is really simple. I think Doge is really simple. We have to see, I think the big sell point will be 42 cents. And I think we've got big resistance at 27 cents. Yeah, 27 cents. You've got the golden pocket lined up with this previous point of control here. And I think the high, if it powers through, then at the very least, you're looking at the very latest, you're probably looking about 42 cents in this wave. I don't imagine that we're going to just power through, just go through like that. I can't imagine that. I think at the very least, if you want to, if it does power through, you're looking for a back test of the golden pocket, flipping the golden pocket into support. Otherwise, you're looking for a flat correction with resistance at the golden pocket. And if you don't get that, if you get a rejection of the golden pocket, then this Elliott wave count changes. And so actually we are in the 1 now, and you actually be looking for a 2, 3, 4, like you'd be looking for something more like that. Okay, so there's kind of some different scenarios as to how we get to higher prices. And so when I was looking at his idea, you see, well, he's just looking at the local time price action, isn't he? This is local price action. So this doesn't really help us because I'm looking at slightly higher time frame price action. Doesn't help at all. At all. Doesn't help at all. But what does help is that he's in a swing long. He's obviously in a leverage position. Yeah. And traders like him would have already taken their profit, so their trade is risk-free. Yeah, it's very different. Trading and accumulating on spot is very different strategy, and the way you do it is very different. So traders will take profit as soon as they take their entry. The minute they hit their first resistance, they take their profit, and they trade as a risk-free trade. So he's probably in a risk-free trade, and it looks like he entered in this dip here on the swing failure here. It looks like he entered on the swing failure here, and it looks like he took his profit and he's put his invalidation underneath the pivot. He's probably moved his invalidation up now, so he's in a risk-free trade. Spot is very different. You know, when you're accumulating on spot, your mindset and the strategy for accumulation is very different. Yeah, and actually it's a lot easier because you know you're not going to get liquidated by exchange bots trying to take you out. So yeah, you could just, worst case scenario, you could just forget about it and come back in 5 years time and you'll be in profit. You know, very different. You wouldn't do that with a leverage trade. So there's a few things that we have to look out for in Doge. The golden pocket is a big level. Do we reject, or do we get a flat correction? If we get a flat correction, then actually we're probably looking at something like this. To flip that into support, flat correction, consolidate underneath the golden pocket, flip this value area into support, then we look at something like that. Or does the price overshoot, power through just because people are bullish, like super bullish, and then you're looking to flip the golden pocket into support for higher prices? I think you're looking for the all-time high at 76 cents as a massive end of bull market take profit. And if for some reason it overshoots, then there's no way that you'll be holding on beyond $1. I think that would be madness to hold on to Doge beyond $1, or try to hold it beyond $1. If you wake up tomorrow and you see the price at $1, I think sell all at market and don't even look back and be happy. Honestly, don't even think about it. That's kind of my Doge update. I don't think it mattered doing all of this stuff, but potentially this is the last wave, wave 5, a macro wave 5. Yeah, and just to put macro wave 5s in context, what does that mean for this token's price in the future? Well, Elliott Wave rules have to apply. You can't ignore them. You can't just pretend they don't exist. If you're doing a higher time frame wave 5 now, it's like a 1, 2, 3, whatever, 4, 5. Yeah. Then technically, and I'm just being technical, I'm not saying it's going to happen. That's your wave 1. And technically this could correct all the way down. As long as you don't make a lower low here. That becomes your invalidation on it. Technically that could happen. Yeah. And it could, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that would be correct. So after you after you complete your wave 5 here, the only support level that matters is the beginning, and the price could fall all the way back to really low prices. It could, yeah, because you're going to get people market selling. You're going to get a lot of volume, a lot of big traders, investors who see this pattern, and they're going to just sell. They're just going to market sell. You get a lot of people market selling at the end of this pivot peak. And will there be enough volume to hold the prices? Probably in a long term, probably not. Not when you start a downtrend, like a bear market, effectively. And then I think in this context, the higher time frame context, you probably, I don't know how far you get. Let's just say you get to just the all-time high. Full fit block. I don't know. Maybe down, it'd be crazy, but you could imagine if, let's just say you go to $1. Let's not say even all-time high. Let's just say $1. This is speculation. No one knows. It's about $1. 50%. And back test this pivot here. Big zigzag. Big ABC zigzag. Why not? It's possible. Just because people don't think it will happen, why not? If we hit an extended bear market after this move, if it's not an extended bear market, it'll just be a sharp southern kind of crazy zigzag, higher time frame. But then the great news is this becomes extremely bullish, because now you'll be looking at a higher time frame 1, 2, and then a big 3. That's your big 3, isn't it? Well, forget about the 4, 5, but shit, sorry, just change the color so you can see it. So on the higher time frame, you're still bullish. You're still crazy bullish, because you've completed a higher time frame 1, and then after this after you get an ABC correction, it would probably be a zigzag. Yeah, a zigzag. I mean, what I mean by a zigzag is it comes down, the price comes down a lot in an ABC fashion, and then you'll be looking for a massive run, a massive 3, and yeah, why not? Probably diminishing returns as well. So you wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't necessarily be as big as the 1. Maybe then Doge could go up to like $5, $6, $7. But then imagine if it came down to about 1 cent or 1.5 cents after this move, and then went from 1.5 cents to like $6 or something. It's like a 44% increase in value. It'd be crazier, but I think that's what I would be imagining in my mind when I see this happen. And then obviously you'd have to reanalyze, because this is based on a deep correction, a deep zigzag. But what happened, you know, you could also get like a flat correction like this. You can get like something more flat, higher time frame. You just have to see how it corrects. A flat correction would be more bullish for higher prices and a higher time frame. But obviously a deep correction would be a buy of a lifetime, wouldn't it? You've got a deep correction, it'd be literally a buy of a lifetime if it came all the way back down after getting up to $1. If it came all the way back down to 1.5 cents, and I think that's very likely. All right, so this is food for thought. Food for thought. All right, so I've done TRVL. I've had a look at Bitcoin. Let's just quickly have a look at Bitcoin now.